Hi, Linda Bowen here from StampingWithLinda.com, your cardiologist since 1997, helping you create cards from the heart. Today is Tuesday in Fun Fold, and today's Fun Fold, the main feature is the Everyday Arches dies. I am using the Perennial Lavender Designer Series paper and the Words of Beauty bundle that was just released in the new online exclusive. Now this card was inspired by a birthday card I got from a customer, Elaine Hinkle, so shout out to Elaine for this design. I switched it up a little bit because I wanted to use the larger arches for my card. So what I did was I took 3 die cuts, and I did 1 in the basic beige and 2 in the Designer Series paper. That is not basic beige, that is crumb cake. I stamped the words, again, this is from the Words of Beauty bundle, with a gorgeous grape. Then I have the next bigger arch die, and I did 3 arches in the gorgeous grape, and then I have 3 of the arches in the crumb cake. Now the base of our card is going to be the Designer Series paper. My Designer Series paper measures 3 inches by 11 5/8. This allows me to use those bigger dies. So we're going to bring in my trimmer, which I see my trimmer needs some major cleaning done on it. I need to get to that. So I'm going to put this in, and I'm first going to score it at the 3 7/8, and then the 7 3/4. Pull that out. 7 3/4, and then the last, of course, is the end of the Designer Series paper, and that is the 11 5/8. So what you have is an accordion. Fold like so, and this is going to be our card base. So we're going to go ahead and put that trimmer aside. I'm going to grab my 2-way glue, and I'm going to add glue on that first square, and I'm going to take my biggest arch and put that there. If you hear some cheering in the background, it's because it's Sunday and football is on, and my neighbors must be having a party. Of course, while I'm trying to tape, they are cheering on whoever their favorite team is up there. I like to do this on Sunday because there's nothing on TV other than football, and I am not a football girl. Now let me think, did I do this right? This is going to go this way. Yeah, like so. Okay, so let's open this up. We're going to add adhesive here. And my third arch, you want to make sure it's right down to the bottom. Excuse me, that was my second arch. Now my third arch. And now, make sure those are on that crease. There we go. We have our card base, like so. Now I'm just going to go in and adhere. Let's add a little more adhesive down here. Our 3 pieces of gorgeous grape. So nice with the layering arches to be able to do this card. It makes a very interesting fun fold, all done just with your dies. And I have several different papers I used to create this card with different prints. So now we're going to add our gorgeous grape. And then our designer series paper is going to go on the outside, the front and the back of the card, I guess you would call it. And just the layering of that paper just makes this paper just pop. So we've got our card base layered. The inside, so you can write your greeting. It says, "You're on my mind." I'm going to fold that up like so. We're going to add our front. And first, I think I'm going to, let's go ahead and add our die cut. Again, this is from that new bundle. Going to go in and add small dimensionals. I have already die cut the Just Because and the crumb cake and the gorgeous grape. And there is a little dot that is hard to keep track of when you die cut for the Just. And so what I used was the gems, purple fine gems for my little dot. So we've got the Just, and I don't like that. Let's see if we can put this down here. Let's pull this up and see if we can move it down a little bit. Yeah, good enough. I'm going to go ahead and add my dimensionals to my Because. And like I said, all this card uses is our dies and our designer series paper to get a great layering look with an arch opening. Just Because you're on my mind. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. We'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.